long-awaited run, drills, warm-up. I'm a big fan of active stretching and movement before you get exercise in, before you start running, and we're just going to go through some basics right now, things that I like to do before I go exercising, before I run. These are great for injury prevention, but also for injury recoveries and things like that. So yeah, always good to, even if you're not going for exercise, even good just to do some warm-up drills. We start with little ankle rolls, just trying to loosen up the ankle nice and gently. Obviously be careful on acute sprains and things like that, that you're not pushing things too far, but gentle range of motion exercises with the ankles, always a good place to start. Okay. These you can do with your shoes on. It's probably a little bit easier to do them inside before you put your shoes on. Trying to just lengthen out the calf muscles, gastrocnemius and soleus. Little step backs, you're reaching behind you and pushing the heel down towards the floor. Reaching behind you and pushing the heel down towards the floor. Keeping your core muscles engaged, and just a nice little one there. This works soleus a little bit more if we just got flat feet and we're just bending, and you should feel it pulling down the back of the calf. Nice little bend over there. All of these you can do for 30 seconds or just until you feel like it's warmed up. If it's feeling particularly stiff, then go a bit longer. Okay. Do some little circles over here with the knees, circling one way. Try and do 10 one way and 10 the other way. Again, it's just getting things warmed up. It's warming up the muscles and the joints and trying to get the blood flowing a little bit and trying to get things moving nicely. Heel flex, just doing a little heel flex. You can do a little jogging on the spot and just flicking up your hands and try and kick your hands behind your butt. Heel flex, lengthening quads. Okay. My dog's getting excited. Hamstrings. Do these where you're comfortable. Okay. You can hold on to something if you like. Just do little hamstring rolls backwards and forwards. If you can progress that a little bit, then that's really helpful, and just try and slowly get higher and higher. Just shush. I like to do, because my hamstrings get quite tight, I like to try and do about a minute on each side. But 30 seconds usually will be enough. Alright. Adductors are the big muscles on the inside. You do put your feet wide apart and just bend one knee. And you can start with little ones and just go where you're comfortable. Generally, feet parallel gets the big adductor magnus. And you can dip into those a little bit deeper each time. So just slowly dropping down, and trying to stretch these muscles. They get really tight and we always forget about these ones. So just do nice adductor stretches. If you can get all the way down, even better. But just always in your comfort zone, where you feel comfortable, where you feel happy. Just reach down and do some nice little ones over there. Good. Other one that I think is really important, we all sit too much during the day. Hip flexors are super stiff and tight. Hamstrings and quads are super stiff and tight. So this one, before you go in running, where you're doing something that's pushing that leg backwards and putting a big pull on your big hip flexors, just doing a nice little active lunge. So we just do a little big step and just slowly lower the knee down towards the floor. If you've got knee issues, you don't want to close this knee off too much and put too much pressure on the big bent knee. You take it to about 90 degrees and just nice big steps. These are great exercises just to warm up all the muscles of the legs before you go for a run. But like I said, it can be done independently, it can be done just for flexibility. Generally speaking, I like to do an active warm-up before exercise and a big static warm-up after exercise. The difference between an active warm-up is I'm moving, I'm lengthening the muscles, I'm firing up the muscles. A static one, I'm putting a stretch on the muscle and I'm holding it for 30 seconds. So that I like to do after. Okay, and we'll do a separate one for post-workout stretches. Although there are lots of little exercise videos that I've got of the individual things over there. Next one for me is just trying to warm up the hip joints. So doing little leg openers. Okay, you can do 20 seconds, 30 seconds on each side, just opening and closing. Okay, and then we go to closing afterwards. So I generally like to do one side at a time, so it's smoother. Okay, but the whole thing is to try and be active and to get the blood flowing and get the muscles fired up. You know, do a little jogging on the spot. Certainly that helps to go for a little bit of a run. And then once I've done one of those ones, I like to do shoot the chickens. Okay, toe up, straight leg. You're obviously not going to do this if you've got an acutely sore low back or a sciatic pain or a grumbling disc. You've got to be a bit careful with these. But if you can do that where you're lengthening the whole way down the back of the leg there, you just come down nice and slow, comfortable, always in the pain-free range of motion, so you're not forcing things or fighting things. Those are my little pre-warm-up stretches. You can also stretch the muscles down the front of the shin, just doing a little one like that. And again, we'll do little active ones that aren't holding. Takes the muscles about 8 seconds to start stretching, to let go and let you start stretching. So if we do little active short ones, then we're just warming up the muscle and we're not switching off the stretch receptors, which is what we want to do for big long static stretches. Feet are quite tricky, so to stretch the bottom of the feet, usually just dropping in to that sort of position, curling the toes if it's not too sore on the big toe. If you've got the flexibility, you can do some little ones over there and stretch the shins and things. And then I've got a little active stretch which I really like for the hamstrings. So if you've got super stiff tight hamstrings, what we do with this one, again, you only do this one if you haven't got any grumbling disc problems or anything. Put your feet on the floor, put your feet on there if you can't reach the floor, bent knees, and you're going to push with your quads. And you feel a big stretch down the back of the hamstrings over there, all the way up into the glutes, into the bum. So if you can get your hands flat and you can do a nice big push, you get a big stretch all the way down. If you can't get your hands flat, then just be on your fingertips or hold on to your ankles. But you're going to try and do a push there. Good. Hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully that'll spare you some injuries and stop you needing to come and get chiropractic treatment from me.